Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Dang it. Almost so close to starting. Didn't even know if I was going to start this evening, but we are almost 20 minutes in, and I just couldn't get shit sorted out. The OBS had to update, Steam had to update. It was just a bunch of problems all of a sudden all at once that I wasn't expecting. I guess playing a Ubisoft game. Wait, did I buy it through Ubisoft? No, I bought it through Epic. I bought it through Epic Games because they weren't selling it through Steam. Far Cry 6. So that's what I've been piddling around on the last few days. I've been wanting to stream though, because tonight is a new night with a new game. Hopefully at some point, maybe I'll even do an unboxing, which will be fun. I'd like to do an unboxing. I think taking a crack at the unboxing thing might be a lot of fun. I ordered a microphone, a standalone microphone. It's the same brand as these headphones. HX Highly or something like that. High Extreme or something. But that's what I ordered. It should be here today. It's supposed to be here an hour and a half ago. Technically 20 minutes ago. So, but it's not. I don't know what I'm going to do about that. It's already been a crazy weekend. Even after I did news, there's a bunch of stuff that's happened this week. I can't wait for Saturday. It's going to be fun. I definitely want to do a little bit more in the terms of man, the stream looks particularly good today compared to usual. I don't know why that is. That's weird. It's like all the settings are correct, like, so it just popped out correctly. Usually it doesn't work that easy for me. Alright, tonight's Tyranny agenda is character creation. Yeah, pretty much character creation. So we're gonna go into the process of building a new character and then applying it to the world, and then y'all get to take control. The last time was a hell of a cool experiment and everything on how stuff worked. I loved it. I wanted to do it a lot. So I still have one thing to take care of, and then I'm going to see if my stuff has arrived, because it should have arrived already by now. It'd be kind of weird to like get this stuff at like 8 o'clock in the evening, and then I'll be doing an unboxing. But we should find out. So give me a few minutes, and yeah, give me one more moment after I unhook everything here. Oh, you. That's what I was waiting for. There you are. Yeah, well, you're the one who just appeared on me. I can't wait till I get that new mic. It's just gonna make life a lot easier than this weird like 2 clipping system. So that'll be better. Why am I stuck on things? Just one thing after another today. What the fuck, Wednesday? So, how did we do this last time? Alright, so, for the most part, we're just gonna like keep rolling with the storyline because that seems to be like what the main objective of everything is here.
For over 400 years, the armies of Kairos the Overlord have swept across the known world. All who stood against them fell before their might.
Thank you for the follow, G-Boy.
Women and
Appreciate
men of
that.
immense power were forced to kneel, chained to the Overlord's will. Now Kairos' final conquest has come to our corner of the world, and 2 of the Overlord's armies compete for the honor of taking our lands. The elite disfavored, and the teeming horde of the Scarlet Chorus. The voices of Nerat, spymaster and archon of secrets, guides the fierce and undisciplined masses of the Scarlet Chorus. With each battle, the Scarlet Chorus grows stronger, as the defeated are given a simple choice: serve or die. Graven Ash, Archon of War and the Overlord's most loyal general, leads the disfavored. Though small in number, Kairos' ironclad legion has never met true defeat in open battle. Watching over the 2 generals is Tunon, the Adjudicator, Archon of Justice, eldest of Kairos' minions. Tunon brings Kairos' laws to newly conquered lands, aided by the Fatebinders, judges and executioners of the Overlord's laws. You were among the youngest of the court of Fatebinders when Kairos' armies came to our lands. How could we have known that the fate of thousands would rest in your hands?
Alright, so this is your first time here, or your 10th time here. Either you speak up on the choices I make, or it is dictated by dice. I have no problem referring to the dice, because this whole game is based on fate. Hence, you're the fate binder. So, ironically, maybe you should trust fate to decide for you in this regard. I think that pretty much sums it up. When I roll up a character, I just choose heads or tails, or 1 through 3, or I'll roll a d6 or something like that, and we just come up with whatever comes up. Alright, so pretty much going to flip on heads or tails for male or female. Obviously, this will be heads, female, and males will be tails. I guess. Does that make sense? Alright. So, heads, females, equal side, tails, male. There we go. What do we got? Eagle side. Alright, so we're on males. It's a male-driven campaign this time. Okay. That's fine. Alright. Hi, Spark. I know. You were like so in my face today. Ever since 3 a.m. You've been in my face. That's right. Alright. Come on. Come on. No, that's enough for right now. Yes, I know. That's enough right now. Oh, you got doggy breath. Oh, it stinks. Yeah, I'll give you one of those bones tomorrow or after stream. First thing after stream. Yeah. All right. So on now, 1 through 3, I usually roll a d6 divided by 2. Anything over 3, so I'll do it 1, 2, 3 across, 4, 5, 6, and that seems to work really well. All right, 1. All right, so we're gonna be skinny. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, and then we'll just roll a d10. And 10. That puts us back here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, that's where we're at. Portrait. Oh my. Alright, let's start with your face. Here we go. I rolled a 1. That's your face. Hair. I don't want to use that one. I want to use this one. Oh, we got plenty of choices for hair, don't we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. $10. Oh, well, oh, straight 10. And then you just like roll that 10. Alright, we just rolled another 1. Weird, I used a different die and I rolled a 1. Alright, so you're bald. Let's see if you got some facial hair. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Make sure that count is right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we need a D12. Here's a D12. And an 11. Man, all the way back to the other end of the spectrum. Okay. We got some Sean Connery stuff going on here, don't we? Or Sean Connery. 1, 2. All right, 7 times 2 is 14. So, what is the best we could do? I don't have a D16. That would be nice, a D16. So, what I'm going to do... I'm going to roll... Let's see, 10, 16, okay. I'm going to roll a D6 and a D10. I'm going to add them up. 15 or... How should I do this? Alright, so maybe just I'll... If I roll a 15, it'll take the place of a 1. And that way I can have a 1. Because the minimum I can roll with this is 2. But if I roll a 15, I'll get the 1. 6, 7, 8, 9. Alright. 7, 8, 9. Nice little hair color there. Almost the same color as mine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, just roll a D8. Where are you, D8? There you are. Alright, and an 8 will constitute as a reroll. And we got a 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
On the lookout.
That's gonna be funny. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. 10, 15, 16, 17, 17. Okay. So I don't have. We're gonna roll a d8 with the d10, and 18 will be 1. 6 plus 8 is 14. So that's 5, 10, 15, so 14. I think this is the same tattoo from last time. Interesting little calves right there. Man, they're so skinny too. He definitely doesn't do calf raises. Totally skipping leg day. That's what that dude is. He's totally skipping leg day. Look how like arched his back is. This looks uncomfortable. Like he's wearing one of those like strap harnesses to fix his posture. All right, so we're gonna do the same thing as we did earlier. So primary color for the tattoo. If I roll a 15 or a 16, or 16 will be a reroll. If I roll a 15, will be a 1. 8 plus 6 is 14. That was weird because I rolled them, I shuffled them pretty good. And then here we go again. Nine plus 5. Another 14. That's so weird. That's so weird. It ended up being 14 in both. That's awkward. Yeah, dude, like, I want black flowers with black highlights on my flowers. Does that make sense? Black flowers with black highlights on my flowers. Oh man, we got a lot of choices here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 21. Oh. 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 28. Ah! 29, 30. 30. How are we going to roll this? They give us 30 portraits. And our largest die I have is a 20-sided die. I can add a d10. That'll give us a total of 30, but then it's 3 to 30, not 1 to 30. How does this work? How do you get 30 out of... How do you randomly select 30 out of 30 here? How about the top row is heads, the bottom row is even. Oh, I dropped my daggone coin. Oh, come here, you. Alright, top row faces heads, bottom row tails. Oh man, I did it again. That was a terrible flip too. It should have just been like, if there was a coin flipping Olympics, I would have just placed 80th. Okay, here we go. Heads, it will be top row, tails, bottom row. What do we got? Tails. Alright. Tails, that gives us the chance to roll 15 die. If I roll, that gives us 15. If I roll 16, it will be counted as the 1. 8 plus 4 is 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Doesn't make sense, but sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8. Alright, so we'll go top left, down and down. Two. 1, 2. Hunter. When the leader of your home village spoke out, the term one spoke out of this. Let me read you the synopsis. When the leader of your home village spoke out of turn one too many times, agents of the Overlord put the whole town to the torch to contain the spread of insubordination. The Bounding Viper tribe came across the smoking ruins of your village, and when the beast matriarch found you frozen and unafraid, the mighty leader took you in and raised you with the protection of her tribe. For many years you lived with these wild beastmen and the migratory homes throughout the mountains. But the Bounding Vipers were a dying breed. Each long winter took a greater toll than the last, and once the dwindling tribe was too weak to defend its lands, disfavored soldiers came to dispense. Disfavored soldiers came to dispense of the ravenous scavengers your tribe had become. Finding a human amongst the wild tribe, the disfavored soldiers made a point of taking you alive. News of the wild child of the north eventually spread to the Archon of Justice, and he ordered you released from captivity and delivered unto his court. People today. Okay. But Hunter is what the dice have chosen. Oh, D10. What do we got? Oh, 7. What is a 7? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Dual wielding. Can we change these? Fury of blows. A slice. I think D7 is what we rolled last time. Or we ended up being into Some kind of spells or something. I don't remember. Secondary expertise. Ironic if we rolled another 7. Oops. I rolled 5, but it wasn't on my rolling pad, so I re-rolled. And it rolled a 5, so 1, 2, 3, vigor spells. Now I'll be able to teach Landry a thing or two. 14, 20, 20. Okay. The 20-sided die with the hard to read dice. Okay. 16. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16. Colors. Do the same thing for the secondary colors. 16. Doesn't feel right. I mean, 16 would be that color too. That's so weird. But 14, how about that? Fine. 14 is fine. I think 14 is okay. It looks awkward. Okay. I think that's just a little bit better. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Oh, there's so many. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's see. 6. There's a star. 6 eagles. That's 12. 18. 24. 5, 26, 27, 28, 29. 29 times 2 is 58. Yeah, 58 minus 1. So we have 57. 57 to choose from. Okay, we can do this. Okay. D10 and 2 D20s. That's 50. If I roll come on, brain work. So I got 57 to choose from. I have a roll of 60, so if I roll 60, 57, it's a reroll. If I roll 50 or 60 or 59, it's a reroll. And if I roll a 58, it's considered a 1. 58 is considered a 1. So we'll just roll and add. 16 plus 6 is 22, plus 10 is 32. Alright, 32. So we will start with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 right there. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22. 32, 45, 6, 7, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. Sure, why not? And then that was a D20. Seven. $17. Fair enough. Enter name. Damage did. We have 8 points. I'm going to roll a D8. And that's how we're going to assign points. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, we're going to roll a D6 for the thing I should put points in. Then we're going to roll a D8. 2, finesse. Then we're going to, like, roll a D8 in there. 1. 1. Okay. That gives me 7 points left. We're going to... 1. Alright, roll a 1. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wow, that's a lot of might. He's pretty fucking mighty. Two. Finesse. Again. I only have a... Heads both, tails 1. Heads both. So awkward. That's so awkward. Available points 20. Alright, D12. Here goes a D12. 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Lure. How many are we gonna throw in there? Let's roll a D20 and find out. 17. That's a lot. Another D12. Let's see where this is gonna take us. 7. What? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Oh, we have 3 points left, so that's a D6 divided by 2. 1. Alright, now we have 2 points left. That's funny. 1. In bows. What am I gonna... Heads both? Tails just 1. What do we got? Heads. That's where they're both going in bows. Right. For the purposes of our campaigns, we always go conquest.
All the world has fallen to Kairos, and now the Overlord's eye is on the Tears, our home. The last corner of the world free of Kairos' reign. 2 armies, the Disfavored and the Scarlet Chorus, march south from the Northern Empire, the last realm to fall to Kairos a century prior. In the early days of 428, Kairos' armies arrive at the Gates of Judgment, the mountainous border that we Tearsmen so long believed unassailable. Unable to agree on a unified plan of defense, the various leaders of the Tears sit and wait for each other to deal with the conquerors, until it's too late.
During the conquest, you will decide your character's actions during Kairos' invasion of the Tears, shaping the world throughout which you will adventure over the course of the game. Each choice you make affects your character and how major factions of the Tears respond to you. You decide. Your decisions matter. Choose wisely. That's my favorite thing about this game is your decisions really do matter. And I like hump bum script in there. You know, they really mapped out like one choice all the way from the beginning to the end to see how it's going to affect something. So the bastard study on the northern. The bastard city stood on the northern border between Kairos Empire and the Tears. Built upon a natural harbor at the crossroads between realms, the city was a nexus of commerce. To the Tears, it was the center of all wealth. To a northerner, it was little more than a backwater trading post. Its symbolic status as a gateway to the continent made it a natural first target for Kairos' military conquest. Circumstances were ideal for you to prove your worth as a soldier in Kairos' army. Taking this city would send a message to the rest of the Tears. Kairos' will is insurmountable. Flop, flop. Okay. There's a lot of coin tossing here. I might switch to a die of odds and evens. And we'll roll a d20, give it so we can have a pretty good chance of either of them. Infiltrate the Tears. Both armies sent their forces to prepare the way, or Gates of Judgment. In their first major engagement of the war, Kairos armies across the mountains established foothold. Oh. Actually, let's just roll the die. Odd will be top, even will be bottom. And we rolled a 9, so that's odd. Okay. Disfavored, odd, chorus, even. Five, odd, disfavored. Oh, I just realized all this stuff is on the wrong side of the screen, which drives me crazy. But this seems to be like the best place for me to stick my camera. Okay, so history will remember the Gates of Judgment as their first battle of the conquest, but real combat unfolded with advanced units of both armies preparing for the coming of war. The disfavored and Scarlet Chorus each had a plan to infiltrate the capital city. Which army did you join? And we joined the disfavored. You lent your skills to the elite disfavored scouts to capture our border garrison. Graven Ash insisted that an early victory in the offensive would boost the morale of his troops and diminish the haughty confidence of the Southerners. Infiltrate the tiers. The oath-bound scouts identified a modest border defense and collaborated an organized attack that would leave the enemy uncoordinated and cut off from aid. You oversaw the preparations and offered your opinion on the strategy. When the clashing of swords and spears fell to silence, followed by the cheering of the disfavored, you were the least surprised. Containing the fire, odd, inside agent, even. $18, even. With the border garrison captured, your disfavored allies, you traveled ahead of Cairo's army and lurked in the shadows of the bastard city. You decided that converting one of the locals to Cairo's side would help bring the city to its knees. After all, corruption starts from within. Odd, the disfavored, the Tails, Scarlet Chorus. Yeah, even would be Scarlet Chorus. Alright, so we rolled an 8. You came to an arrangement with a well-connected smuggler who knew how to sneak agents of the Scarlet Chorus behind city walls. The Scarlet Chorus were better operatives than soldiers, and this work required a subtle touch. After accepting his deserved payment, the smuggler uncovered a long-forgotten tunnel that intersected with the sewers of the bastard city. Armed with the maps of subterranean layout, the Scarlet Chorus allies fanned out to occupy various city districts undercover. They spent the ensuing weeks murdering key officials and sabotaging defenses wherever possible, weakening the tier's capital under the very noses of the leaders. I don't think I've ever read that one. Betrayal of the bastard city. Your tactics of infiltration placed the bastard city at the head of the main armies. Your work softened the city's defenses for the arrival of Cairo's forces, but you wanted a decisive gesture that would give your allies a meaningful advantage. How did you assist in the fall of the bastard city? We got a 1 through 3 here. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right across the board. Then it just repeats, it wraps. 4, 1, 2, 3, that puts us at the disfavored. You challenged the commander of the bastard city's defenses to an honorable fight to the death. The disfavored wished to spare soldiers' lives for the battle ahead. The civilian lives for occupation. Okay. The city marshal was an old but experienced fighter. His value to the guard was an accepted truth. After making guarantees for your protection, you met him in the square of the market district and fought in view of tense onlookers. The battle drew on longer than you thought possible. Good fortune struck when an ornamental chain hanging from the marshal's armor snagged the quillon of his sword granting you the opportunity to end its life quickly. End his life swiftly. Cairo's forces celebrated your return to camp and the dissolution of the enemy morale. All agreed that the bastard city was poised to crumble. Clunk, 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 clunk. The bastard city settled into a new state of normalcy, with every tower displaying Cairo's banner. Your name was whispered alongside rumors of decorated career to come. The armies divided into two fronts, migrating south. Tunon sent word that you were to join the next frontier of Cairo's conquest, either as judge and overseer of the settlement of Lithian's Crossing, or as a war advisor with the armies advancing into the realm of Apex. Okay. Am I headed into Apex or Lithian's Crossing? So a 30-second countdown. Or you get to choose. Oh, it's 45 seconds. I think we timed it at 45 seconds. So I'll wait for a choice. And if I don't get a choice on which one to go through, I'll just roll a dice for it. But if you want to chime in, you got like 45 seconds. Starting now. 2 seconds ago. 5 seconds ago. It's weird, it's quiet time. I don't hear myself talking. Down to 20 seconds. Twelve, 10, 8, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop. Alright, so I'm going to roll that d20. Yeah, 15. So, I didn't decide. Odds Apex, Lithian, and Tails, Lithian's Crossing. Or Evens, Lithian's Crossing. That's what it is, Evens. Alright, so I rolled a 2 in a very precarious way. Okay, it's not gonna. It's stuck on a 2. Alright, Lithian's Crossing confirmed. Years ago, Lethian the Bold founded a small merchant town at the intersection of ancient old walls. A pact between the settlers and a mercenary company meant that caravans were able to travel without fear of bandits or baying. The town thrived in modest insignificance. Lethian's Crossing drew Cairo's attention for the iron ore deposits in the surrounding hills. With their region under Cairo's control, the northern smith mages could set up workshops to refine ore and arm the disfavored with the finest weapons in the known world. The Archon of Secrets dismantled the mercenary support with a generous bribe. Taking the crossing in a boundless victory, Tunon dispatched you to travel alongside Cairo's forces to bring order to the region. Flop, flop. Odd, even. Odd will be the iron must flow. Even will be Cult of Siren. So at least it didn't disappear like a dab gun 50-cent piece. Okay. Nope. Need to get out. Alright, even. So we are at the Cult of Siren. Siren. Archon of Song. Use her arcane charm to lure locals into joining Cairo's army. As a patroness of the Scarlet Chorus, her efforts were critical to the conscription of new recruits. When an enthralled, disfavored soldier joined her cult, his company feared that the Archon was growing out of control and needed to be stopped. Odds, destroy the cult. Tails, send Siren's cult to the Vanguard. Or even. Even will be Scarlet Chorus. $19. Oh. I got too busy reading that I'd never read it before. In response to your word, the Archon of Song departed your company in bitter silence, but not before releasing her arcane hold over the latest batch of recruits. The disfavored remained abstained that the dispersal of her cult continue as planned. Hunting down the confused or memory-stricken innocents, they put to death those who they couldn't beat into obedience. The Scarlet Chorus barely restrained themselves from the indignity, which proved a major setback to the army's strength in numbers. Odd, even. No, you can't read that. Here we go. Yeah, 16. That puts us down here. Ancient threats to the arcane energy around the forge's mystical predators from the nearby Old Walls began to raid Lethian's Crossing at all hours. Both of Cairo's armies reserved their strength for the front lines of the war, and yet the city required protection. You had to delegate the responsibility somewhere. Odd disfavored, even Scarlet Chorus. Even. Since the disfavored used most of the iron that came out of Lethian's Crossing, it fell to them to stand as the city's vigilant protectors. The Scarlet Chorus enjoyed a necessary reprieve. Sounds like that was the right call. Though the disfavored were adverse to your ruling, they couldn't argue with the reasoning behind it. They rallied in the streets of Lethian's Crossing, patrolling on alert in shifts that lasted day and night. In an impressive show of force, they managed to repel several attacks from the predators in districts that would have otherwise suffered great harm. Able to do some good, the disfavored still detested you for keeping them from the battle with their real enemies, the Tears. They might not have liked the choice, but it was the right choice. Tragedy struck when a mercenary hired by the Voices of Nerat injured a forge-bound artisan, leaving him unable to practice his craft. Tunon ordered the mercenaries to leave the city in the hands of Cairo's more responsible servants. Only a token garrison could be left while the army returned to the front, as the disfavored and Scarlet Chorus showed increasing tensions and hostility towards each other. Tunon decreed it best that only one force controlled the crossing. Ooh. Who's controlling the crossing? Why is my face all wonky? Is it going to be the disfavored, or is it going to be the Scarlet Chorus? I'm not sure. But if you want to chime in, you have 45 seconds to do so, starting now. I couldn't find a timer for the Stream chill. You get me and my phone. Alright, down to 20 seconds. 17, 16. Oh, come back here. Don't blip out on me. Sure. 10, 8, 7, 5, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Yes. So I'm just going to roll. And then, what is it? Odd, disfavored, even, Scarlet Chorus. And we're on even. We rolled another 14 today. You granted the control of Lethian's Crossing to Scarlet Chorus. Man, Scarlet Chorus is like winning today. They're getting the upper hand in this. The Scarlet Chorus flooded Lethian's Crossing with overeager and undisciplined recruits. In the first few days of occupation, settlers suffered under rampant theft, murder, rape, and arson. By the following week, the horsemen who sowed chaos for personal gain were dead, strung up by the moral disciplined half that took up the reins of self-appointed bosses of Lethian's Crossing. The forge-bound continued to mint iron weapons and armor, which Kairos merchants carted to the disfavored garrisons elsewhere in the tiers. Shipments were light, or sometimes absent. The Scarlet Chorus quartermaster claimed ignorance of the matter. Oh, well. This is a very interesting... This is like almost opposite of what happened last time. It's kind of what I was hoping for, just by random chance. With the mercenaries expelled from Lethian's Crossing, and under new leadership, Kairos forces congratulated themselves on bringing order to the settlement and guaranteed a productive flow of resources. Over the course of this diversion, the army front advanced further into the tiers. Your skills were needed in the realm of Azure, Stalwart, or the Vellum Citadel. Okay. There's three choices. It'll be, if I roll, it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But until the ding goes off to like answer. Dun 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. 20 seconds. Now, I know the chat can move fast sometimes, but sometimes people have like, I don't know, it's for everybody to chime in. There we go. 45 seconds. All right. Here we go. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Vellum Citadel. Alright, so Vellum Citadel is okay. Where is that Vellum Citadel? Okay, this is Vellum Citadel. Okay, this is Stalwart. This is Azure. Okay, all right. So Vellum Citadel. Here we go. Confirm. The Vellum Citadel was an archive and library of massive scale. Its inhabitants were known as the School of Ink and Quill. a circle of mages that, centuries ago, carved out their own mountainous refuge in lands unsettled by other major realms. Legend said that the Citadel housed a treasure trove of arcane knowledge. The Overlord's spies infiltrated the school and confirmed as much. The time was ripe to send a detachment to the great library fortress and forces of scholars to yield to Kairos. Um, we will do odd and even. 16. Even it is, right there. A detachment of Kairos army marched to the Vellum Citadel, expecting an orderly surrender as they neared the main gates. A blast of arcane energy struck the commanders dead. Suddenly, the highest ranking officer alive, Kairos forces looked to you for the next steps. The call weighed in on your mind and had an immediate influence on the soldiers' losses. Alright, odd will be Scarlet. What? So odd will be this one. Even will be this one. Whoever it is, they're going to be marching, suicide marching. Even. Okay. Yes, well, that's where we're at. Oh, I should have read that. I didn't think about it. Like, I'd never done that before. The disfavored were quick to follow your command, and formed an unbreakable phalanx that gave the unarmored Scarlet Chorus horde a chance to escape. Once they returned, camp did the once they returned only once they returned to camp did the only once they returned to camp did the singed and maimed disfavored take issue with the orders. As far as they were concerned, the Scarlet Chorus should have taken care of themselves. If they weren't equal to the challenge of defending their brethren, then they had no place in this conquest. They had a 2-day break, and now they're just like, not working. All right, here we'll do odd up here, and even down here. This is plunder of parchment. Each one will try and like plunder things, and the other one is Lost Mountain. So plunder parchment, you can't read that on there. The army captured a supply caravan overflowing with arcane books. When the disfavored started a bonfire of forbidden texts, the Scarlet Chorus rescued the tombs from the flames and attacked. The other one is Lost to the Mountains. The disfavored learned of a hidden enemy enclave and sent scouts to locate it. They never returned from their mission. The remaining disfavored soldiers demanded that you send Scarlet Chorus to retrieve their scouts. But the Scarlet Chorus flatly refused to fall into the same trap. They recommended that the scouts be treated as wartime casualties. Alright, so you have like 45 seconds to choose one of the two. And if I don't get anything back just to keep things going, I'll roll odd or even on them. That way it'll be a random chance. Seconds. How did that get moved? Just throwing things around? Alright, 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Alright. I wish I had some popcorn. I have some tacos though. Street tacos, not like the Tex-Mex tacos that we get at wherever those places are. Alright. 13. So it's usually odd. So lost to the mountains is even. Odd. Plunder of parchment. Okay, so either we destroy the text in accordance with you with the disfavored. Destroy the text. You upheld Kairos law regarding forbidden lore and had all the text burned, or you decreed that the disfavored are welcome to burn their half of the plunder, but the Scarlet Chorus has rightful claim to the other half, provided you first review the text first to eliminate any that touch on forbidden knowledge. Ooh, forbidden knowledge. So here we go, another choice. 45 seconds on the clock, starting now. There we go. Get closer. Five, 4, 3, okay. There we go. Gotta stop. Alright. Odd is usually the left. Even is usually the right. That's what I'm going to choose. Even. Alright, so accordance with Kairos law, we're going to wait, odd. Oh. Even, we sided with the Scarlet Chorus, and we're gonna accept the loot. The Scarlet Chorus agreed to your generous terms, and you set to poring over every manuscript before it was handed over. The work took several evenings, and you came away with a glimpse of truths better left unknown. Taking the burden upon yourself was a less risky alternative than dismantling it, disseminating it among Kairos ranks, though it didn't help you sleep at night. I wonder what kind of truths those were. Very curious. Disgusted by your approbation of the Scarlet Chorus, the disfavored forces withdrew from the field of battle. Your small detachment now lacked the manpower to take Vellum Citadel. Tunon sent word that Cairo's patience had run thin, and the Overlord would cast an edict of fire on the enemy. The parchment arrived in a cinder case of engraved iron. Written on it, the words of a spell powerful enough to destroy the Vellum Citadel. You had the choice of when to read the edict. Reading it at sunrise would offer your enemies no warning of the devastation to come. You could also wait until sunset, giving them ample time to flee or make amends. Oh, this is a crazy one. That's for sure. Uh, odds will be this one, and tails will be that one. Or evens. Even Stevens, odds because 3. And this is an O, I don't know. Is O even? It's a neutral number. Technically, I guess that would make all zeros 2? Whoa, that's crazy. I could get lost in that freaking thought. Okay, odds give no warning, tails give a day's warning, or evens give a day's warning. So, oh, 6. So even give them a day's warning. Claiming they still had spies within the citadel, the Scarlet Chorus urged you to warn the mages of the Overlord's edict. Granting their request, you met with the enemy under a blue flag of peace and warned them of their doom, giving the chorus spies and the enemy a chance to run. You confronted the mages with a warning and hoped the message was received. The hour before sunset, numerous figures were spotted fleeing the citadel. As the sun dipped under the horizon, you read the words of the edict. The earth shook, and red-orange light glowed from the foundation of the sprawling citadel. Bubbling up from under the library, a torrent of lava heaved with heaved with explosive force, gushing from the windows and between loose rocks, winding trenches, winding trenches in and around the land. Days later, the flames still raged on. The conflagration continued, fed and renewed by the power of the edict. The armies of Kairos left the devastation of Velum Citadel in silence. From that day forward, known the tears came to know the once noble citadel as the Burning Library. Cool name. Then it was just then it wasn't a dis then was an undisputed loss of resources, knowledge, culture, and life. But a message had been sent. The Overlord would not tolerate defiance. You didn't have long before Tunon to rest before Tunon called you to service once more. You were one of the last to depart from the mountains, and as you journeyed off, you spotted a few campfires in the mountains. They were mere specks, dwarfed by the inferno. The last glimpse of the survivors had perhaps looted from Kairos armies, perhaps their last gasp of survivors, or perhaps looters from Kairos armies, bored and daring enough to pick through the ashes. You have reached the end of Kairos conquest. Do you want to continue or to progress, or do you want to start over? Uh, just for shits and giggles, I'm gonna hit continue anyways. 4. Okay, so that would have been right there. Right there.
The year is 431, and Kairos' invasion has shattered all major opposition in the tiers. The Younger Realms, the Bastard Tier, the Free Cities. All who defied Kairos lay broken by battle, or bowed in surrender. The two armies of the Overlord, the Disfavored and the Scarlet Chorus, now control our lands. But our will is not yet extinguished. Not entirely. In the valley of Vendrian's Well, those of us unwilling to bow to Kairos have banded together in defiance. Violating an oath of surrender from 2 years prior, we have staged a bloody uprising, murdering the disfavored and Scarlet Chorus garrison in a midnight assault. The Overlord is not amused, and Kairos has one message for the Archons: crush the Oathbreakers or die. Kairos backs this threat with an edict, a magical commandment that can slay all in the valley should the order be ignored. The honor of proclaiming this edict fell to you. Sent across the mountains to Vendrian's Well, you carry the Overlord's edict to read before the Archons.
This is the second one we've had to do.
As you finally make your way through the winding mountain passes into the valley, the ground trembles, and Kairos' magic seals the way behind you. You are trapped in Vendrian's Well, with Kairos' armies and the Oathbreakers. The only way to survive is to fulfill the terms of the Overlord's edict, in any way that you can.
Dun dun dun. I have to blow my nose. I'll have to be right back. Oh, since we're here. Oh, that's us. Oh. After these messages, we'll be right back. Okay, we are back. Almost. There we go. No, let's talk to you. Kairos the Overlord be praised. When I heard the avalanche, I feared the valley was sealed with you on the other side. I don't know why I chose that one. Did his favored warriors claps their gauntlet to her breastplate, their traditional salute of her legion. I don't need a ton of these. Sometimes there's things I forget. A pleasure to see you again, Fatebinder. You were with us. You have been with us since before the first official days of the conquest, and so it's fitting you're here now. And what I hope is the last gasp of resistance from these backwards tearsmen. Here's hoping you can convince the Archons to settle on a plan to crush the Oathbreakers. That is why you're here, right? Yeah, politics. 1 through 4. 2. 1, 2. I'm in a hurry to deliver a message to the Archons. Well, you have traveled a long way. I won't keep you any further. I'm sure that the Archons will want to hear from you. Her voice falls silent, her attention snapping eastwards with alarm. Do you hear that? More runners. More runners. Third time this week. The Oathbreakers keep trying to send messengers through the mountains to gather messages through the mountains to gather help from outside the valley. She points over to the collapsed path which you arrived. But they're a bit too late for that now. Come, let's show these Oathbreakers a good fight. Oh. Where are my weapons? These are my weapons, right? Oh, I don't need this shit.
Right.
This is a lot less involved versus in-game stuff. Can't believe it took that long for those things to recharge. Come on, stop that over. No, he's not full of loot. That's no fun. I need loot. Oh, when Mini Mini Mighty Mo, get your tiger by his toe. Alright. Odds, evens. Evens. We're just gonna move the boulder. Quish. Come on, you. Take that.
On it.
In that.
Will do.
In that. Doesn't feel very powerful or strong. What does this do? Not much. Come on.
Right.
Die!
I got it.
I needed all that stuff. And this stuff. I need it all. I want it all.
Sorry, I can't.
Yes, you can.
I'm
Go.
not dead yet. Try and catch me, worm.
A breathless enemy soldier passes a glance to her countrymen. This one's crazy. Too much lead in our water. We should cut our losses and turn back.
Fate finder. Here at last. Care to join me in putting these cowards out of their misery?
Oh yeah, let's wait. I have to roll on things. Alright. We just go odds ones, evens twos. There we go. 13 is odds, so we are going to join the battle. I mean, we are. Let's have some fun here.
Will do. Right. Phew. I can tell you didn't spend the conquest in a diplomat's tent.
Your mom did.
I'm versed, by the way. But there are more important things to take care of than introductions. Those Vendrian guard we killed didn't come alone.
That's what your mom said. Alright, D10. I rolled a 6, so that gives me a 3. Right, so 5, or a 1. How's that gonna work? So if I roll a 5, does that give me a 2 or a 3? If I roll a 6, is that 3? But if I roll a 4, it's a 2. Oh, so I'm gonna have to go sequential order back from top to down. Again, okay. Right, 3. 1, 2, 3. Why are the Vendrian Guard attacking now?
My guess. The Vendrian Guard are testing our strength in battle, learning how we perform before they organize a real offensive. That or they're really, really desperate to get beyond the mountains and couldn't wait until nightfall.
Alright, now we're down to a D4. A D4! Should we roll the 4? You're dismissed, soldier. If I need you, I'll find you at the Scarlet.
Is that a jest? If you want to wander off on your own and die, so be it. But I was ordered to protect you.
But I was ordered to protect you. Okay. Odd or even? It's pretty obvious. This one's odd. Alright, even. You heard me. I'll be fine on my
Have
own.
it your way. If you'd rather face the Vendrian Guard with your rear exposed, it's none of my affair.
Just like dismiss verse. Oh, she's. I was like, why are my eyes deceiving me? Okay. Look, we got like some things in the inventory. Things. What is this? to hide a helmet. The Scarlet Fury helmet is definitely way better. But this gauntlet is better. You know, for being like, well, I guess if you're wearing ceremonial clothing versus some real armor, it might be kind of pretty weak. I'm gonna slap these on there. Is that all the armor? Yeah. Does that look like us now? Does that fit our face? Probably not. Alright. Eyes forward, no holding back. The Vendrian Guard warriors roars with his falks held high, his words largely lost over the din of combat. Stand aside, or your funeral will be over the side of this bluff. And seeing you squarely in his path, the soldier points his weapons your way. Oh. Rolled even. There's no escape, and for Oathbreakers, no surrender. You gain wrath with Vendrian's well. Then we'll settle this with bronze. Bronze? Brass? Okay, bronze. The warrior points towards you, ordering his men to advance. As he signals his men to charge, the sound of chanting rises from the south, drawing his attention. Scarlet Chorus reinforcements, hurry! Run down the Oathbreakers, let no one escape! From the red mob of reinforcements from the south, a blood chanter emerges at the head of the rabble. The ornamental crest of her staff, pulsing with crimson tones, signing sigils of magic and wordlessly moving her mouth. The blood chanter scribes a series of spells into the air. A red glow surrounds Vendrian's guard warriors as the chanter's magic worms its way into their minds, blinding them with rage. Hold position, all of you! You there! Keep to the path! The warrior gestures along the canyon trail, but his soldiers turn their attention to the Scarlet Chorus, roaring challenges. Do not engage them! We need to run! His orders falling on deaf ears, the warriors reluctantly ready his weapons. Oh, that was around halfway. I'm actually kicking that dude's ass. There you go. Pop down one of those. Oh, missed. Not good all those lore points did.
Uh-huh.
Ah, got him. I survived. That's some brass ball stuff. Come quick, we have a situation on the cliffside. They have the commander. Okay. The commander, Cobra Commander. Oh, my voice was like, my mouse was tracking the screen. Okay, let's go loot some stuff real quick. The commander will still be there. So we definitely need those. In that, there we go. I went from nice, clean, sleek boots to just some raggedy old boots.
Aye.
Aye. Aye, you lad. More loot. The commander will be there. Hey, Talls, how's it going? Where's that person go? Oh. Ah. Stow your weapons, or we find out how long a man screams before hitting the ravine down below. Cornered between a precipitous drop and a band of angry soldiers, the Oathbreaker will hold the disfavored officer at knife point. Yes, skewer him! Worry not for me! Craven Ash will protect! The disfavored officer winces, blood seeping from the seams of his bracers and cuirass. I don't think I've ever said the word cuirass. Well, we're on the, Alright, so basically we started like the war in the tiers that I'm sure you're aware of. There's a war. And we went through like a little campaign thing that you have to go through to get to this point. And this is, we went to go cast an edict and it trapped us in this valley. Here you are. The game has handed me the reins to the character to start the storyline. And so, we landed in a ravine, and we rolled a boulder over somebody, and then we met Verse, but then the dice told Verse to like, pretty much fuck off. And we're right here, right now. This is where we're at. So, you are just at the very beginning of gameplay. That pretty much covered it, and actually more detailed than I was thinking it would when I go over in my head. I guess I'm just waiting for you to like, okay, I'm all caught up now. So, yeah, we've pretty much just only been like, had like a couple of small battles, and we're at the very, very beginning. So, oh, okay. You heard the man. He painfully invited you to use that little blade of yours. What are you waiting for? Permission from your pimp? This blade, with a jerk of the knife, he slices a clump of Durastus matted hair If you're so eager to see your ally dead, just step closer. Dun dun dun! Alright, you're here for like the first choice. Or the second choice in the whole game. Well, I guess the second choice in the whole game that when we started gameplay. Yeah, okay. When we started gameplay. I think the first choice was whether the character is going to be male or female. And this one, built like a man, even with like mustache handlebars, sounds like a woman. That was just the way the dice rolled it. So if you're like, who's that girl I hear in your combat in your combat? It's our character. Release the prisoner, and you might know. Oh, the other thing about our character, he looks like if Sean Connery and I had like meshed, he looks like Sean Connery and I combined. One, all right, one. Release the prisoner, and you might know the inside of a shell. I'm sure that the cell will have daily visitors from Scarlet Chorus Cads, thirsty for blood, of torture. He shakes his head, pulling the captive closer. I'd rather take my chances with death. Now that's unfair, I assure you. I have more of a hunger for torture than thirst. But you are correct. We have no charity left for those who have laughed at our mercy once before. The blood chanter slams her staff on the ground, curling her fingers with a quivering hand. If you fools won't deal with him, maybe I will. Whatever you're thinking, don't. Not till Commander Justice is safe. He's just got like such an anonymous name. Stone Shield. For Stone Shields, is that like I don't know if it's an NPC, like we'll never meet this guy again in the entire game. Okay, one, you gained favor with the Scarlet Chorus. You've gained favor with disfavored and 69 athletic points. So, the Oathbreaker cracks a wild smile as you lower your weapon. That's right. Now the rest of you drop your weapons. With his attention on the soldiers and warriors, you dash forward. He reaches out with his dagger to slay Drastus, but your hand is already on his wrist. With a wincing twist, you mangle his hand, dropping the dagger harmlessly to the ground. That was very brave. The disfavored warriors rush forward from either side of you. Tyrell barely managed a strained grasp before being hacked and impaled upon their swords and spears. Hey, I could almost pass it as that guy. Maybe not. My hair isn't that red. Kairos be praised. That Oathbreaker fought with the rage of a coward himself. Justice slides with trembling hand along the cut on his neck. Thank you, Fate Bender. I thought today was my last. From the look of it, guess they thought if they swarmed the pass, maybe one might make it out. We found a few scraps of parchment on the bodies. Justice holds out a handful of crumpled parchments for your inspection. A student of letters such as yourself should be able to make sense of this. Oh, he was quoting that. Alright, I have no time for this. All that training and Graven Ash doesn't teach you to read or examine the parchment. I guess our athleticism is pretty good today. Good athleticism. Give it some pets. For head pats. Where's dogs in another room? Well, alright, yeah, let's look at what's on the parchment. Repeating the same messages in different written scripts, the parchments explain the Vendrian's Guard's desire to overthrow Kairos Archons and rout their armies from the tiers. The pages aren't addressed to any specific reader, but rather open invites all who remain loyal to the younger realms to gather at Vendrian's Well. Recruitment material? Or is it useless scrawlings, nothing more? Recruitment material? Or nothing more? Ooh, I haven't had one of those in a while. Definitely lime-like. Sequence ale. Definitely some good stuff. If you like lime. Yeah, one. There we go. That's what I was thinking. Well, from the looks of it, we kept them from slipping out of the valley. Wherever they hoped to have accomplished, I think their plan died here. The Archons are expecting you. When you're ready, leave by the gate to the southeast and follow the trails down slope for a few hours. You'll see the campfires leagues away. Can't miss it. Yay, Luke. Oh, sigil. A distant impact. go ahead. Oh wait, it's in the. No, where's the The prisoner says his name's Dracus Demos. Dracus lets out a long sigh, tapping his gauntlet finger to his temple. I don't think this is a complicated matter. He dies. His family is a driving force in the Vendrian Guard. Killing him should demoralize whatever is left of the Tarkus clan. Gain favor with Scarlet Chorus. We must give the vanquished enemy a chance to serve. This is our law. Smiling with recognition at your presence, the chanter points your way. Just ask the governor here. You understand the wisdom of the Scarlet Chorus. The Overlord does not wish to rule over a ruined crater. We must conquer. But if we show no mercy, we will have conquered mountainous stretch of nothing. We let you take prisoners, but you can't control them. You send these conscripts out on patrol, and they never return, deflecting all over again. I can't let this nonsense strategy continue. You gain favor with Scarlet Chorus. I don't know how or who's getting favor for what, but let's hear what the Fate Binder has to say. The Blood Chanter turns to you with a wide smile. My mates in the Blood Chanter Guild tell me you are the most supportive of our claims to the scroll of Vellum Citadel. Surely you understand that the Scarlet Chorus is wise enough not to squander any advantage we can take from the enemy. That was a mouthful. Execute the Oathbreaker. One chance to surrender is enough. That's kind of funny. You gain wrath with Scarlet Chorus and favor with the disfavored. The Tearsman can't be trusted. Rakes, thieves, and whores, nothing more. We were far too merciful the first time. Justice nods to a nearby warrior. Have this one tied up. He and his friends can watch each other rot in the sun. Dun dun dun. I won't keep you here any longer, Fatebinder. I know you have important business in the valley. Justice salutes you, his iron gauntlet wrapping against his breastplate. For the glory of Kairos! Oh, for the glory of Kairos! Alright, can we, what are we doing now? Right, we did that and that. We also just talk to people. Fatefinder, Aurora salutes you as you approach. We are honored by your presence. Do we need something? We don't have to like actually talk to this lady if we don't want. She's just here to like load us down with information if we want it. Seen anything interesting during the war? I once saw a forge-bound artisan set himself on fire. Occupational hazard. That was an unpleasant day. The first of many, to be honest. I heard about the edict you proclaimed in the burning library, but thankfully I wasn't there. One fire was enough for me. Fair enough, yeah. There's a little, the foot icon to get out of this place. Do I need to talk to horde members? No. Do I need to talk to Verse? Oh, now we can put Verse in our company, I guess, if we want. Having trouble making up your mind? I know that Tuna on campus is agents with the best training, but I'm around in case you need a guide. You wouldn't be here in the siege if you wouldn't be here if the siege wasn't already a mess. It is a pretty good mess. Alright, verse. Let's hang, yo. You won't regret it. I've spent more time taking orders than giving them. So point me in the direction of a fight, and you won't second guess. And I won't second guess you, okay? Where's the little, Oh yeah, check that thing out. Okay. Where is the freaking exit to this place? Maybe it's buried in here where I haven't been yet. That's probably where it's at. It's probably buried in there. No, yes, there we go. Ooh, let's talk to him. You there, muttering through a mouthful of congealed blood. You there. Tarkus Demos hangs from the stake. End this, I beg you. Should we be like really cold-hearted or merciful? Finish him! Finish him! You plunge your weapon into his heart, ending his life with one quick thrust. Yeah, what a torturous way to go. Alright, the disfavored camp. 2 hours and 45 minutes. A merchant. Hail, Fatefinder. Camp's up on ahead. Don't mind us, just clearing out the rabble. Still, I don't understand what I've done to offend. I respect that these are now disfavored lands, and I'm happy to give the Legion a proper toll, but she's going on about trading rights. What nonsense is that? I am not allowed to trade one thing for another? It's not like I'm selling weapons to angry peasants or anything of the sort. Yeah, now you got some like moral dictator choices that you get to make in the name of Kairos. But it's always in the name of Kairos. None of my concern. These are peasant matters. This is below me. Right you are. We'll take care of this vulture. This crescent runner nods to you with a knowing smile. Jeez. We don't have enough subterfuge for that. Slow down a moment. I know we're both eager to watch the Archons bicker over tactics like a pair of magpies, but I need to ask you something first. Are we going to have this conversation now? Verse? Not that we have anything impeding to do. It is a war. Every minute does count for something somewhere. One? Alright. The voices of Narat told me that you've come as a mediator, considering the source. Well, I can't help but feel I'm only hearing half the story. So let's have it out. What's so special about you? Yeah. We have a buttload of lore. Just to let you know. That's just how the character was rolled up. It was awkwardly awkward and underbalanced or overbalanced. We might be good at lying, which is under lore, but we're not good at subterfuge. Okay, one. I'm here to deliver an edict from Kairos. You gain loyalty with verse. That makes crazy kind of sense, considering how long the siege has taxed the armies. I can understand why Kairos would send you with an edict to speed things along. Have you read it? Do you know what it says? The Archon's claims must have. The Archons must claim Ascension Hall by Kairos. Day of Swords, where I'll perish. 2. This is not for you to know. Two. All right, that's all for now. Let's see. Not for you to know. That is not for you to know. If you're telling the truth, I suppose I'll hear it soon enough, anyways. She nods to herself. Thinking I have to find a lo-fi music kind of thing. But I also like the music in this game, so it's either choose one or the other. The war tent is just past the center of camp, she nods. To the northeast. One last thing. Be careful around the disfavored types. They take their work seriously, and most have suffered too many blows to the head. So, yeah, guess we just don't have it. The guard holds up a warning hand. Go no further! You approach disfavored ground. State your... can't think of that guy's name now. It was just on the... it was on the tip of my tongue when I was making the impression. And now I'm going to look it up. Jeff Bridges. If you glare, you'll get the same game. You know? This is like you, but you never know. These choices could lead to a completely different game that you choose on. So you never know. I'm damaged. Fate Finder of Tudon. I bring words from Kairos. Words for your commander's ears. Oh, I like that one. Yeah. Oh, so you're the fire starter. Oh, we got a nickname, fire starter. Sivius and the company's returning from Burning Library are telling some harrowing stories about Kairos' Edict of Fire. I think myself brave, but I'm happy to have been far away from it all. Must have been terrifying honor to see the messengers of such righteous force. Go on in, soldier gestures towards the gate. The Archons are expecting you. You'll find them in the war tent center of camp. Hail to you, guardian of law. I don't know who this guy is, so I hope he's just a merchant and we can just exit out if you want. It's not. We don't really have a whole lot of money or a lot to trade. If you have a few excess rings laying down on you, best unburn yourself before battle. He points to his collection of shields, rations, blah blah. Take a look. Okay, we don't really need this right now. Farewell. Off with you, merchant peasant. You never know where you're going to find the quest giver. Here we go. Archons, wait you inside, Fate Finder.
That's 4 reports of avalanches in the mountains now. The Tearsmen can barely count past 9. They have neither the capacity nor the cause to close off the mountain passes. Either way, that leaves the 2nd and 4th cohort trapped outside the valley.
The Archon of War pounds his staff on the ground. Pounds his chest. It might as well be pounding his chest. The staff on the ground to punctuate his words. A large and imposing man to begin with. His profile is made larger still by his hulking suit of armor that hums with mystic energy.
or it's the work of your perfidious Earthshakers. Only a fool would not suspect a traitorous Archon of poisoning the mind of his students with sedition. We would have killed the Earthshakers Guild for their master's treachery, but I'm sure you have some perfectly valid reason for allowing them to live as your pawns.
The Archon of Secrets passes a scepter between his hands as he speaks, twirling the rod in hypnotic circles. Emerald luminescence seeps from the seams of the Archon's ragged robes. The glowing is most noticeable where his neck ought to be. His mask seems to float and spin, never pivoting or bending naturally.
Hey, watch yourself. When these two get going, you don't want to get between them.
Yeah. Yeah, we should just like put our foot down on this. Yeah, there we go. You gain favor with it. Well, we gain favor with the voices of Marat Scout, of course. Why didn't you speak up sooner? My Lord Archons, the governors of Lethian's Crossing, has arrived. I beg you, cease arguing for a moment. Uh, okay. Well, very diplomatic for you. Just to step in and then bow.
Ah, the fire starter has arrived. Welcome, welcome. Our agents tell us such lovely stories of what you did at the Vellum Citadel. Have you come bearing another fragment of Kairos' wrath in tow?
Such a snark about the guy who like controls everything.
My soldiers tell me you helped Commander Drotus on your way through Edring. You honor the court with your selfless cooperation, for that is the sort of camaraderie that Kairos demands of us all.
On the last of his words, the Archon of War glares at the voices of Nerat. Furrowing his brows, he utters the words, camaraderie. I think it would be kind of fun to develop a like this this I am mightier than thou in all these situations, and through the course of the game, how things work, but it it's just kind of like, oh, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. That three, yeah.
My dear Binder, we won't be done bickering until the last of Ash's hair falls out. We'll pause for you to read your little missive. Go on, don't keep us all in suspense.
It seemed only yesterday you were proving your worth in battle, assisting my warriors in the siege of the bastard city. Now Kairos has chosen you for a second time to proclaim an edict. Tell us, good Fatebinder, what sort of punishment does the Overlord have in store for the Oathbreakers?
Ugh, what do we want to tell them? In honor of your incompetence and disarray, the edict will execute every living thing in this valley unless Ascension Hall is taken by Kairos, Day of Swords. I'm just following the path of the three. Loyalty with verse, favor with voices, wrath with graven ash. I'm not sure if you're like just making choices all on your own, or if like you're favoring a side in this two between these two. Kind of interesting. The earth sways with each word you utter, the air thickening with the warmth as you pronounce the tersely phrased commandment, with every syllable drafted by the hand of Kairos. With the edict proclaimed, your pulse quickens and the muscles of your legs, worn from a long trip down the mountains, feel renewed, the tired limbs now nearly buoyant with vigor.
The Overlord means to compel us into action. No doubt the avalanches in the mountains are part of this ultimatum. We must conquer the Oathbreakers or die in failure. There is no room for error, and no other way out of this valley alive. We'll need to advance across the Mittani. We lose everything if we stand still. And we move to back up Plan Green. The Earthshakers didn't make it over the mountain in time. So we do this the hard way. Over the walls instead of through.
The Archon of War taps a finger against his temple. A low rumble escapes from under his beard.
So you found your backbone at last! Oh, we were worried past humiliations would make you soft, timid. That was a record for you, right? A baker's dozen lost in one sortie. If you had waited for the chorus reinforcements, maybe we'd have eyes and ears on the matter.
That's true. Just if you go with your gut feeling or just something that you find entertaining, just stick to it. Shouldn't matter what the consequence is. They call you the Archon of Secrets, but you certainly don't know anything remotely useful.
I second the Fatebinder. Thought you had the memories of one of those Oathbreakers rattling about that bronze gourd of yours. Would Kairos' mighty spy master please enlighten this gathering of allies with some scrap of strategic insight?
The Archon of Secrets turns his head to the side until the face of his mask has turned around. A new facet of the mask presents itself as facing forward. That came out weird. When next the Archon speaks, the trembling voice of a younger man can be heard.
Our river was to be the bulwark, but with the tidecasters slain, what hope remains? It's so cold in here. Help me, please.
The Archon turns his head far to the side until the previous facet of his mask now looks forward.
Our sources tell us the Oathbreakers had some sort of magical trick in store. But this knowledge is tinged with fear, trepidation. If we make a move for the Mitanni, we suspect the Oathbreakers will mount a counterattack that is equal parts valiant and futile.
Well, yeah, it's okay. Like, I'll just say, you play the game how you want to. You know, I'm not here to dictate how you play. I've been through plenty of these storylines, but there's always a storyline I haven't been down. So tonight's been full of surprises that already, like, I've never done this or that or went down that path. So yeah, I'm not gonna tell you how to play. Everybody plays differently. All right, the voices. Who is that?
That was Mitanni Yanev, former noble of Apex and one of the leaders of the Vendrian Guard. Back when they were half-respectable enemies that knew how to lose with dignity. When the Guard first surrendered, Yanev presented himself to us. What he knew, we now know.
Three. No more sitting idle. I expected his favor to be on the march at once.
You've delivered your edict. Do not pretend it gives you the right to give orders to an Archon.
Iron Marshal Aranis. My lord, Barrick and his band have been drilled on the Echo Call assault plan. The Crescent Runner should be briefing him as we speak regarding the latest enemy movements along the river. I will dispatch him at once. The Iron Marshal salutes, clapping her gauntlet to her breastplate. And I will ensure this chorus stands ready to march. If the disfavored can take the river, the chorus has the manpower to secure the outer ring of the valley.
Our soldiers clamor for battle, and at last we shall have it. Thus, we command you to continue guarding the Fatebinder. Tunan's Chosen is our honored guest, and must be shown our finest hospitality.
I won't let you down, boss. He'll get through the campaign in one piece, as long as he doesn't do anything too stupid.
The Archon twirls his scepter one last time, then taps the fifth eye on then taps the fifth eye on the shoulder, and the two depart.
Finally, the fool and his puppet are gone. Perhaps now I can hear myself think. Rarely do I question Kairos' judgment, but I will never understand why the voices of Narot is given such authority. I shudder to think what will become of us all should Tunon favor him in the end. Though the edict threatens the Scarlet Chorus just as it threatens us, I cannot shake the feeling that our allies will work against us. You've shown your worth in war, and your name has been known to the Legion since the very beginning of this long conquest. So I'd ask that you join us this one last time, to help us wrap up this last objective. If you wish to be counted amongst the glorious, speak with the Iron Marshal. She will direct the order of battle until we are ready for the final push into the Citadel.
I'm short a few scouts, short a few soldiers, short a few everything. I'm sure my brethren would be grateful for the assistance of a skilled outsider. Claire. Burst appreciated that, that's for sure. The Iron Marshal salutes. Greyhound then returns to leave the tent. I will be at the training grounds, ready the soldiers. Find me there when you are ready. She pauses, clearing her throat. And though I am loath to mention it, the chorus can likely use your assistance. They certainly won't secure the outer valley on their own. Fifth Eye will be somewhere in that rat's nest they call a camp, due east. Seek him out, if you must. Dun dun dun. Time is a ticking. Speak with Fifth Eye.
Will do.
At the Scarlet Chorus camp. Oh. Oh, encounter in Vendrian's Well. You're following the road through an expanse of scrubby woodlands. Crooked oaks and dry needled pines grasping towards the sky, when you catch the sound of children's laughter filtering through the trees. Right, we have two actions. Investigate the laughter or ignore and continue. I've never done this, so your guess is as good as mine. Okay, cool. Investigate the laughter. Abandoning the road, you make your way to a small tributary of the Matani, snaking through the sparse forest. There you discover a group of 4 youths gathered beside a small stream. 2 of the children sit on the rocks, poles in hand, staring patiently at the water. The other 2 are seated near a bucket, taking turns, whacking eels along the ground to stun them and carving up eel meat. Okay. Uh, threaten the children. Speak to the children. Return to the road. It's either threaten the children, which sounds ridiculous, but speak to the children. Instead of speaking with them, you are speaking to them. Like this is a one-way conversation, children. It only goes towards you, you know. This is the hill. This is the ball of shit. You're down here. I speak to you, and it just rolls downhill. Is that speaking to them? Uh, you step out of the woods, drawing the attention of the children, who eye you warily. The eldest youth, almost a man grown, knows your heraldry and hawks a ball of phlegm into the reeds. Oh, what's sniggle? Okay, punish the spitter. Tell a story. Is this maybe it's a riddle? The sniggle. Ransom the children. Return to the woods. Oh, I'm thinking the sniggle is probably a riddle, but we have punish, tell a story, ask a riddle, ransom the children, or return to the road. Extorting the kids. Okay. Okay, we'll find out what sniggle is. Ask to sniggle. Thank God it's not ask to snuggle. That would have been weird. Sniggle. Encounter in Vendrian's Well. Though initially weary of you, the youth relax as you sit with them, poking your bait into the snig holes. That's just like fishing pole. that was his fishing pole, not a fight. I didn't know what it was either. That was funny. Uh, Eventually, you hook one of the eels, hauling the hissing beast from the stream and cracking its head upon the stone until it goes silent. You thank the youth for the use of their pole and return to the road with catch in your hand. End encounter. What is this? Vendrian's Well, or Vendrian Guard, appreciates us. More. That, yeah, it's fishing. Sniggle. I'm not sure I'll ever use. It's one of the new founded slang terms. It's gonna be in the Urban Dictionary now. Sniggle. The guard places her hands on her belt as you approach, gripping the hilt of a blade. Past this point curious is chorus territory, and you don't look like someone's script. You sure you're in the right place? It's getting cold in here. Number two, I'm always in the right place. You can't favor with the Scarlet Chorus. Fine. Come on in. I'm sure Fury will gut you if you're really a problem. God half-heartedly waves you as he nods to Verse. Verse always looks like she belongs in a firefight. Okay. Mm-hmm. Oh, looking for Fifth Eye right here. That's the Snigler. The fate finder of Tudon arrives, speaking with a teenager's timbre. The, the Fifth Eye's voice makes your gums itch, and your fingernails feel in need of a trim. It's just, I'm not sure I could replicate a voice that bad. Let's see. That's like some weird. I don't even think I can make those two sounds combined together. That's a crazy way to sound. And we just finished having a bit of sport with some captives. But don't worry, we'll have more fun with another batch momentarily. Dressed in the bronze red regalia of crimson spears, Fifth Eye beckons you to stand close, wagging a blood-splattered glove. As a distinct pleasure, you see again Firestarter. No doubt I had my gang. No doubt I had my gang. Might not have lived. Oh, no doubt I and my gang might not have lived to see this day. Had you not taken charge of the disastrous assault on the Vellum Citadel. He jabs his finger towards you for emphasis. You made a wise trade. A few disfavored lives for hundreds of chorus choirmen. Kairos would approve. Now that you have issued this edict and doomed us all to die, you have come to help us climb out of the hole? Chirp's laughter emanate from under his mask. Ugh. I trust your warriors are ready for battle? Oh. What are you going to choose here? I have other things to do. Farewell, Scarlet Cores. I got other shit to go do. Oh, of course you do. I can't give you orders and won't pretend otherwise. That said, if you're willing to grace us with your skills, we'd be honored. We know the other, we know the Oathbreakers are focused on the citadel beneath the mountain spire. But we have learned this is not their only nest. The fifth eye wags a hand in the air. The fifth eye wags a hand in the air with a high-pitched squeal of displeasure. Given their pattern of attacks, they must have a second group maintaining camp here in the Outer Valley. And unless we deal with the second group, they'll attack from behind the moment we cross the river. So if we don't deal with them, they could ambush us from behind in the middle of battle. Right? I'm hurt, insult my manners or my maturity, but do not insinuate that I sit idle when there's blood to be shed. The crimson spear clasps his fingers together. We have dealt with countless oath breakers, but one group remains at large, despite our best efforts. Captain uh, Pellick's crew consistently evades or kills our own gangs. So, do we need help taking? You need help taking out those oath breakers. And while a good old-fashioned slaughter would be an efficient solution, the smarter is not to kill them, but add their strengths to ours. My last group of scouts returned with a new batch of prisoners, and one of these prisoners claims she can lead us to the Vendrian's guard second camp, though there are shreds of deception in her voice. I could use your help questioning this Variakel. Perhaps you will get less screams and tears and more useful information out of her. If we knew where to ambush the Oathbreakers, we could try to take their captain and show them the wisdom of joining the chorus. I have no time for this. Scarlet Chorus, y'all full of bullshit. None of us have time for this. The fifth eye jabs a finger towards you, his hand hovering. That's right. Uh, I think this is where we pick up Lantry. None of us have time for this. The fifth eye jabs a finger towards you, his hand hovering inches over your chest. The edict that you delivered has placed our joyful bits in the Overlord's grasp. I will have to question her further. If you change your mind, come to me. But it's the it's still part of our quest list, so we have to do it anyways. It's like, we have to talk to him. Talk to that lady anyways. Okay. Please, someone. I wish to bow before the voices of Narat. I thought I could. I could find redemption. I thought all I could. I thought I could. I thought all I could find. Bleh. I thought all could find redemption in the chorus. Man, I don't know why I couldn't say that. It broke up. I'm like, I just couldn't read from one side of the sentence to the other. A woman in the makeshift armor in the Ventrated Well guard lurches forward in agony. Her soiled, trembling legs suggested that she had been forced to stand for days. This one flippantly waves at the prisoner, was hollering at her that she knows the location of the Ventrian Guard encampment, but she isn't being entirely honest. I told this thing. The prisoner turns pale a moment before a look of determination comes over his face. That I wanted to guarantee I'd live and be welcomed into the chorus as a captain. Then I'll talk. Otherwise, they'll just kill me once I've opened up. I was dumb enough to join the Vendrian Guard, but I'm not dumb enough to give away my bargaining bronze. Oh yeah, why should we trust the word of an oathbreaker? I suppose I have no answer for that. Mariah's eyes fall to the ground as she swallows nervously. When I joined the Vendrian Guard, I accepted their broken vow unto myself. Have you no passion for a foolish cause, one you later came to regret? Well, my surrender is sincere. I am willing to bow before the voices of Narat to prove it. Tell me what to tell me what you know, and I can see to your release. I heard the chorus is looking for Captain Pelops, Florian, and his crew. I can lead you to them, but only if you release me. She turns her head, taking a long look at skewered and smoldering corpses around her. She tugs her restraint, but to no avail. Athletics. Ugh. Start talking now, or no, we don't meet any subterfuge requirements, but we could have the voices of Nura extract what you know from your mind. Well, you see, shaken by your demand, her lips move wordlessly for several seconds. So I don't know exactly where the rest of my crew is, but I can tell you. She shakes her head, catching her breath. Search that one. She reaches up with her right leg and points with her foot, calling attention to a nearby pile of corpses. The tall, dark one missing most of his face. Check his left boot. He was the literate one. He was the literate one in our crew. He had the orders. With a snap of his fingers, a pair of choirmen yank the boot off the fallen guardsman. A rolled parchment slides out of his boot and is thrust into the fifth eye's hands. He unfurls the scroll to give it a read. It's nonsense, just mash of words. Laughter erupts from under the mask. She said she had information. She gives us garbage. Slay the wretch for wasting our time. He snaps his fingers at a nearby Scarlet Fury who promptly snatches a long knife from her belt. And she was willing to, swear fealty to him. But it's like Scarlet Chorus politics. Where the strong are, always eating the weak. Make the cut shallow. Give her time to regret toying with me. Cold. The Scarlet Fury slices open Varia's neck. Pinned to her final resting post, the Vendrian guard soldier thrashes and flails for several long moments before bowing her head in death. We're no closer to finding the Oathbreaker's position. Not with this cryptic mess. She she promised us answers, and all she gave us was gibberish.
Sorry to interrupt, but I highly doubt it's gibberish. More likely, it's one of the local scripts.
Lantry. Oh, you didn't see yeah, I don't know how you didn't see that coming. I mean, that was kind of like she pulled out her knife. She was coming towards the character. What was supposed to happen? The ink smudge covers his cheeks, temples, and ears. His clothes appear charred, and between the rips of fabric you spot burn scars along his arms. Despite being emaciated and tied to a post, he offers a beaming smile. And this is how we pick up Lantry. Okay. Show him the parchment.
Well, let me see. I can't. Uh-huh.
You hold the parchment in front of the bowed sage. His eyes dart down the length of the missive. He reads the words a second time, nodding in silence.
So, I don't know exactly what it says, but I'm half certain that's Sage Selwyn's handwriting. I'm sure I could decipher that in a few hours' time. Don't need my hands free, but I think better when not tied to a post. I know, I'm weird that way.
I don't know, some people get their giggles that way. A few hours? Either you can read it, or you cannot. What use is a sage that doesn't know his letters? I've heard all I need to hear. I say we have some fun with this one. How much good of pulling out secrets are they? You read the edict? I didn't tell you to tell you the sundial is working. I don't need to tell you that the sundial is working against us. This old bag is just trying to stall us. One. Okay. Untie him and give him a chance to translate. You give me orders, Binder. Does this look like Turon's court? Last I checked, only the Archons of Secrets can tell me what to do with a prisoner. The Crimson Spear pounds his staff to the ground and pounds his staff. Pounds his staff to the ground. Am I missing a word in there? I'm like, pounds his staff to the ground. If this old man wants freedom, we shall give him a fair shot at a trial.
Fatebinder, I beseech you, be my advocate for this trial. I'm no fool. I know the chorus uses blood, not words, to settle these matters. But you are a servant of the Archon of Justice, are you not?
We are. Yeah, they left it out. All right, release the prisoner at once. I'm taking him into custody. Not a chance. He's our prisoner. If you think you can track the information we need out of his skull without troubling the Archon, that's one thing, but you're not walking out of here with our property. Yeah, we could totally walk out with number 3. I've never seen a door skill that high and a character, so it's kind of a fun option. Two. Did you just tell me no? You gained 59 athletics skill experience. The Scarlet Chorus of Miss a whimpering squeal as you grab him by the chin of his mask and pull him close. Gloved hands press against you, but try as he might, his push cannot exceed your pull. Hi, Little O. Just we'll finish up this conversation and call it a night. All right, so release the prisoner to me, and I won't shame you and degrade you in full view of your followers. Yes, yes, he grunts and stammers as he struggles to wrest free from your grip. Once you release him, he shuffles to regain his composure. You too, dusting himself off with one hand. He waves to nearby conscripts with the other. Sage, release the sage. He's the fate finder's problem now. The sage is unbound from the post, stiff legs nearly buckle as he attempts to walk, and his arms flex and flail in their new freedom. Wiping sweat and grime from his brow, the sage steps close to you with a nervous smile.
Thank you. Oh, I thought I was going to wind up as another corpse in that pile. Now, hand me that parchment. The sooner I can find out what it says, the sooner I can get out of this place.
Well, the parchment was weathered, but I could make out the important parts of the text. The note makes mention of a meeting spot west of Tripnettle Wilderness, now unlocked in the world map. So the old sage knows his words after all. I'd ask you to travel ahead and see if you can't get this Captain Florian to yield to the chorus. They will strike at first sight of a chorus gang, but perhaps they will parley with yours if yours is the face they see. I know the area. I suggest we go at once. I'll show you the way. I'm eager to be far from the stench of this camp. All right. So in the party, uh, in the combat party, Lantry is typically the healer of the group. So he's a nobody else in the group heals. So we should take him. My apologies, we skipped past that part. I'm Sage Lantry, formerly of the Vellum Citadel, and now of, well, nowhere, I guess. Yeah, two is pretty much because all the alternative is because the alternative is what? Living here with these illiterate brutes. My old study is under a river of fire, and there's no family missing me. Besides, I'd so much rather chronicle the binder that twice proclaimed an edict of Kairos. I'd rather be a fool to let someone else. I'd be a fool to let someone else write this story. Just swear feel to me, peasant. Okay. Splendid. You gained loyalty with Lantry. Splendid. You won't be disappointed. I know I may seem old and frail, but I know how to step lightly and how to not get killed. Really, I will slow you down. Lead the way. Let me know if I can be of service. Now, are we done here? Let's hightail it to Tripnettle. If your new pet doesn't behave himself along the way, I'm not above clipping his ears. All right. We've got Verse. We've got Lantry. We're at the very beginning of the game. The very first couple of hours. So, thank you for tuning in. If you like my stream, follow and enjoy. Come in and help make choices. There's a merchant click thingy down below. I'm Damaged Gods, and I play Damaged did for you guys. So that's it for tonight. Check back in tomorrow, and we're gonna see what we get into.